this will be another video that I post. So, but right now we're just putting spark plugs in it, so by hand. Alright, look at that. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But for right now I can just dangle right there. Well, I figured instead of making part 8, well, I mean, I'm still going to make part 8, but I decided to go live for a little bit, just because it's a little easier than and just trying to make a video and trying to get the angles right and this and that. So, but for right now we're just putting spark plugs in, and then we'll chit chat and maybe do some fixing of the wiring. But yeah, got new spark plugs. You ain't using the old ones? No. They're rusty. Yeah, they're brand new, but the tips, they're rusty. I used them when I painted the block. And no. So, I went out and spent, $30 on brand new ones. And, well, no, I didn't spend just $30. I spent like $97 on a ground cable, spark plugs, transmission elbows, just little elbows, and 6 feet of transmission rubber lines. Thinking 6 feet was going to be enough. No, 6 feet is enough to do one side, so I got to go back tomorrow and get some more line. Then the transmission cooler and transmission lines will be all hooked up. I got to finish running the ground, and tonight I want to finish hooking up and finishing my gas pedal bracket and hooking up the cables. So then we have a gas pedal, and then tomorrow get another 6 feet of transmission line, get a spool of brake line, and get a spool of fuel line. So yeah, very, very expensive weekend already. So, and I can already see that the fuel line and brake line is going to be over, $100 again, give or take. But we did get the linkage in for the column shift. You can only get to drive. You can't get to low second or low first. So, not too worried about that, because if I really wanted to get, all the way to low, Summit Racing has one on clearance. It's a floor shifter from B&M. I might snag, so we might put a floor shifter in this, maybe. I will cross that bridge before I buy the carpet. Because if I get the carpet in, I'm not putting a floor shifter in, so I will decide that probably come spring. But I mean, it goes from park, reverse, neutral, drive, and you can get second low, but it's hard to get it back into drive. So I was thinking, floor shifter, it would probably be a lot smoother than this rod. So still processing that, because the floor shifter is on clearance, but it's still like $100, almost $200. So YouTube's not really paying me. This is all coming out of my own pocket. You know, I'm not asking for donations. You know, I'm not selling merchandise. So it's all coming out of my pocket just to, you know, show you guys what little work I did in a video, just to be like, hey, look, I got a 64 Comet that runs in lines. No. This is what I do. It was either this or drugs. And I didn't want to do that, so I picked a different drug. Working on cars. I mean, when I was in high school, I wanted to, you know, be like everybody else, you know, play video games. I can barely play video games for like an hour. I just can't sit in front of a TV and move my thumbs and talk to people. No, I need to get outside, work, do somewhat math, and, you know, fix things, you know. I had an Xbox One. I haven't touched it in like 2 years. I bought it off my brother, played it for like a good 3 months, off and on. I haven't touched it, so I'm thinking about just selling it. So, yeah. Oh, that's why I want to show you guys too. Because I was going to try to save money and use, you know, the spark plugs out of the other 302. I don't know if you were trying to, you know, think of, or you were trying to tell me that. So these are the ones out of the 302, brand new. So I think that's what Emin was talking about, using the ones out of the 302. But the ones out of the 302 are not the same size. Yes, these are brand new too, you know, that came out of this 289. You know, they're a brand new plug too, but they're just old. But 1977, 1965. This one almost fell down into the cylinder. That's how small they are. When I went to go to put one in, it almost went inside the cylinder. So that's how big these spark plugs are. They're big. So I go out and buy another set of spark plugs. But I'm just going to throw these back in the 302. What is this all about? My 1964 Comet that I'm building. Crazy the difference. Yeah, same. I know GM didn't really change that much, but I didn't think Ford would have. But knowing me, trying to build a Ford for the first time, I can see it happening. But now I'm going to go through and tighten all these, and then figure out my firing order once again. So, yeah. But other than that, I fixed the oil pressure line. I switched out the terminal, so that's plugged in. The thermostat is plugged in. Still got to change the coil wires over. Still got to finish the coil wires that run to the distributor, and then I just got to figure out a few other wires. So, but that's probably going to be tomorrow morning project. So tonight is just mainly finishing the throttle linkage and the arm. So that's done, and then I can pull the dry shaft back out, get U-joints, take that over to my cousin's house, see if he can do them, because I'm not doing U-joints. I hate doing U-joints. And get the dry shaft in, order the U-bolts for the rear end to hold the dry shaft in. Then that's done. Got to make sure everything's straight, tighten down the transmission, tighten down the cross member, and everything underneath is done. Yeah, done. And then we can get it up on jack stands and do all the brake lines. So hopefully by next weekend, my master cylinder will be here, and yeah, all new brake lines. I'm even going to do the rubber lines in the front, just because I don't want to take that chance of them swelling and doing it twice. So that's that. Ordered my other radiator. That should be here sometime next week. They said January 10th, so that's what, next Thursday, Friday? I don't know. But I got that ordered, and yeah, so I can put the radiator in. I can get some hoses. So we're just plucking along here. Spending a lot of money, but I just want to get this car done. So if I gotta fork out another, $1,000 in 2 weeks, I'll do it, just to get this car done. Mainly just to get it mobile. Silicone hoses, just rubber black ones. I have no idea. I always use the rubber black ones. Normal radiator hose. That's all I use. But yeah, I'm just tired of pushing this car, pushing it out, pushing it in, pushing it next door. I'm tired of that. I want to hop in it. It don't need to run good, but I mean, there's nothing wrong with that 2-barrel, so everything should work. Should. So, but yeah, that's if the motor even remotely sounds good. It could have 8 rod bearings spun, but not trying to think of that. Just trying to think of it's a brand new rebuilt engine, so just trying to keep it like that. So, and hopefully this fuel pump down here is good. So, yeah. So it'll be fine, hopefully, because there's, well, mainly I'm not trying to talk so much, but for the new guy that's in here, I paid $750 for this engine and transmission, mainly for the transmission. So hopefully maybe the engine's good. It's rebuilt. I don't know how. So whoever rebuilt it, hopefully they did it right, and they weren't, pulling something on the guide to where, like, oh, we're gonna tweak this so 5 miles down the road it blows. So hopefully not. And then once everything's done in the engine bay, we'll wipe it down again, get her shiny again. So in reality, I haven't worked on this car probably since last March. So it's almost been a year since I've worked on this car. Just because I was hunting for a transmission for that engine, because a C6 will not fit in this car. And yeah, I was trying to find a C4 and kept looking. They were like 200 miles away. I didn't want to travel that far. And then this popped up about 50 miles away. And yeah, so, and here we are today. So I thought he was going to walk through that door, but yeah, so I'll probably hop on live later and yeah, give you guys a whole new update. So I'll see you guys then.